Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about the humoral immune response and cell mediated immune response, which is also called as cellular immune response, which is included in the immunology. So before going to the humoral immune response and cellular immune response, let's learn about what is immunology. So basically immunology is the study of immune system. So immune system consists of various parts of our body. Immune system consists of immune cells, immune organs. Basically, two major components are there. First is immune cells and immune organs. Via various immune organs, there is production of various types of immune cells. Basically, you can say it as a T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte. So, there are different types of immune organs present in the body. There is lymph node, appendix, bone marrow, Peyer's patches, spleen, thymus and tonsils. We can differentiate these immune organs into the two categories. First one is a primary immune organ, primary lymphoid organ, or second one is a secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ is bone marrow and thymus, while the secondary lymphoid organs are lymph node, Peyer's patch, appendix, tonsils and spleen. So primary lymphoid or the function of a primary lymphoid organ is to produce, to generate, to synthesize the different lymphocyte utilized into the generation of immune response, while the activation of these lymphocyte takes place in the secondary lymphoid organ. The secondary lymphoid organs are act as a filter for the lymph or for the blood. So next one is the generation of all immune response starts from the bone marrow. So here is a structure of a bone marrow. The bone inside the bone marrow there is important structure called red marrow. Red marrow consists of various types of cells which is majorly generated through the hematopoietic stem cells. These hematopoietic stem cells consist of different types of progenitors. There are lymphoid progenitor as well as myeloid progenitor. Through the lymphoid progenitor, there is a generation of lymphocyte and other WBCs like eosinophil, neutrophil, basophil, monocytes, etc. And along with that, the hematopoietic stem cells also generates platelets as well as RBCs. So there is major function of bone marrow for the generation, for the synthesis of different cells required in our body, along with that lymphocyte, along with that RBCs and along with that platelets. All we know that these all cells are important to functioning of the proper functioning of our body. Okay. Next one is our major topic is cellular immune response and humoral immune response. Among that, we are taking to first, that is a cellular immune response. So basically cellular immune response, we can apart it into the 5 steps. First one is a production of lymphocyte, T lymphocyte. Second one is maturation of T lymphocyte. Third one is activation of T lymphocyte. Fourth one is effector phase and fifth one is cytokines. So basically we all know that, just we have seen about that bone marrow consists of hematopoietic stem cells which arise, which synthesize the T lymphocyte or B lymphocyte. These T lymphocyte then mature itself into the, then T lymphocyte mature itself into the bone marrow. So the point is that why the B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes are named depending upon their site of maturation. As the B lymphocyte matures inside the bone marrow, hence it is called as B lymphocyte, and as the T lymphocyte matures into the thymus, that is another primary lymphoid organ, so it is called as T lymphocyte. So basically the concept is about that. Next, maturation of a T lymphocyte takes place into the thymus. So when the hematopoietic stem cells generates the T lymphocyte, it migrates to the another primary lymphoid organ, that is thymus. Inside the thymus, these lymphocytes are called as thymocytes. These thymocytes take thymic education, and while the maturation process, there is formation of pro B cell, pre B cell, and then mature T cell, mature T lymphocyte. The difference is that in pro B cell, pre B cell and mature T lymphocyte is the CDs. CDs are called as a cluster of differentiation, which recognizes that cell that is a specific T cell, that is specific B cell. So the CD, discussing about the CD is that majorly Upon maturation and upon differentiation, there is formation of two types of T lymphocyte. One is a T cytotoxic cell and one is a T helper cell. T cytotoxic cell consists of CD8 plus and CD4 minus cluster of differentiation, as well as the T helper cell consists of CD4 plus and CD8 minus cluster of differentiation on their cell surface. So this is all about the production. Production takes place in bone marrow. Next, these migrates goes to the thymus, and in the thymus via thymic education they get the information about MHC molecule. What is MHC molecule? MHC molecule as the major histocompatibility complex which is utilized in the activation, activation of the T cells. Next, activation of T cell, discussing about that. Activation of T cell basically takes place. For the activation, both B cell and T cell migrates to the peripheral lymphoid organ, which is also called as a secondary lymphoid organ. Upon activation, the T cell activates via APC cells. APC cells are the antigen presenting cells. These cells represent MHC molecule on their cell surface. On the MHC molecule, what is MHC molecule? MHC molecule are the major histocompatibility complex. So these MHC molecule consist of antigen peptide at their groove region. So the information of that peptide is taken by T cell, and then these T cell are differentiated into T cytotoxic cell, and there is in the last image I have given the example of a T helper cell. So basically concept is that when the hematopoietic stem cell synthesizes the T lymphocyte, the T lymphocyte migrates to the thymus, and in thymus, upon gaining the education, these thymus migrates to or flows to or goes to the secondary lymphoid organ for activation. In secondary lymphoid organ, there is presence of actual pathogen particle, there is presence of actual antigenic particle. So upon activation via MHC molecule, which is represented by dendritic cells. Now there is concept of phagocytic cells. These phagocytic cells are called as APC cells. Phagocytic cells can be dendritic cells, phagocytic cells can be macrophages, and phagocytic cells can be natural killer cells. The T cell is then differentiated into two types of cell, T cytotoxic cell and T helper cell. So there is major difference in the function of T cytotoxic cell and T helper cell. T cytotoxic cell releases some types of cytokine, as well as T helper cell releases some types of cytokine. We have learned that there is activation of lymphocyte. So we gone through the diagram. Next one is effector phase. In the effector phase, when the T cell differentiate into T cytotoxic and T helper cell, there is a production of these effective cells which eliminates the pathogen particle, pathogen molecule or antigenic molecule. So it is called as effector phase. So via discussing the function of T lymphocytes, there is a major part is that cytokines. Cytokines, both T helper cell and T cytotoxic cell releases some types of cytokine. But there is difference. The cytokines released via the T cytotoxic cells, it actually kills the cell via apoptosis. For the apoptosis, T cytotoxic cells release perforins, granzymes, interferon, tumor necrosis factor, etc., depending upon what type of cell it is dealing with. Suppose it is a cancerous cell, then it can send the tumor necrosis factor inside the cell for the cell killing or the cell death for the apoptosis. Second one, for the normal cell, it can release the perforin or granzymes. For identifying the infected cell, there is also concept of MHC molecule. But there is a difference in the MHC molecule. The MHC molecule represented on the APC cells, that is antigen presenting cells, is called as MHC molecule 2 or MHC class 2. Then the MHC molecule represented on the infected cell is the MHC class 1 molecule. MHC class 1 molecule and MHC class 2 molecule. There is a concept in activation as well as functioning of the T cytotoxic cell. Next one concept is of T helper cell. As we know that T cytotoxic cells actually involves in the killing of cell, but T helper cell does not kill any type of cell, but it releases some types of cytokine which stimulates, which activates other types of lymphocytes, like other macrophages is there, B lymphocyte is there, inflammatory immune response is there. So upon activation there is production of T helper cell. Then these T helper cell can be of different types: T helper cell 1, T helper cell 2, T helper cell 17. The function is depending upon which type of cytokine they release. The T helper cell 1 releases interferon and tumor necrosis factor, which majorly functions on the macrophages, the major function of T helper cell is the activation and stimulation of macrophage. Second one is that T helper cell 2, which releases interleukin 4, interleukin 5 and interleukin 13, which is majorly important in the activation and stimulation of B lymphocyte. And lastly, there is a T helper cell 17, which releases interleukin 17, 21 and 22, which majorly important in the generation of inflammatory immune response. So there is these are the types of cytokines. There is a number of cytokines like interleukin. Why we called as interleukin? Because the cytokines are synthesized by one type of lymphocyte and it function on the other type of lymphocyte, hence it is called as interleukin. Next one cytokine we consider take as an example of interferons. Interferons are these type of cytokine which are synthesized by, which are produced by one type of lymphocyte, but it acts on a viral infection, so it is called as interferon. Second one is tumor necrosis factor. These are the cytokines which are synthesized, released by the lymphocyte, but acts on the tumor cells, cancerous cells, etc. Next, interleukin, interferon, tumor necrosis factor. Next, there is one single type of cytokine which is not taken example as in this PPT. There is a colony stimulating factor to stimulate our body to generate different kinds of macrophages, T cells, B cells, dendritic cells, natural killer cells. There is involvement of colony stimulating factors. These cytokines, when these cytokines are released by some types of lymphocyte, that is T helper cell through the cytokine release, then it goes to the bone marrow and stimulates the bone marrow to synthesis to produce some types of cell like macrophages, T cells, B cells, etc. via involving the progenitors. The T cell are developed from the T cell progenitor and B cell are developed from the B cell progenitor. So this is about all the cellular immune response. Cellular immune response involves in the cellular immune response, there is involvement of T cytotoxic cells. So next one is humoral immune response. In a humoral immune response, there is production of B lymphocyte, maturation of B lymphocyte, activation of B lymphocyte. There is also effector phase, and lastly, there is importance or the functioning of antigen antibody complex. So humoral immune response is generated via antibodies, and antibodies are produced by the B lymphocyte. So first of all, production and maturation. Production, as we know that the B lymphocyte produced inside the bone marrow via B lymphocyte progenitor in the hematopoietic stem cells. Then these cells produced by the bone marrow, hematopoietic stem cells or the some lymphocyte progenitors goes under the multiple stages. We can call this as a pro B cell, pre B cell, immature B cell, and there is maturation of B cell. Maturation of B cell takes place inside the bone marrow. So what is difference in pro B cell, pre B cell and mature B cell? The pro B cell, pre B cell, or we can say it is what is the difference between mature B cell and immature B cell? Mature B cell represents only IgM immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin, what is immunoglobulin? Immunoglobulin are the heterodimers. There are different types of immunoglobulin, basically antibodies. IgG is there, IgA is there, IgM, IgE and IgD. These immunoglobulin are named depending upon the constituent of their heavy chain. So we can discuss it later. So immature B cell consists of IgM only on their surface body. Upon maturation, these cell consist of IgD. So mature B cell consists of IgM as well as IgD on their surface. So production and maturation takes place into the bone marrow. Then these mature B cell migrates to the peripheral lymphoid site, peripheral lymphoid organ or secondary lymphoid organ. It can be either spleen or it can be either lymph node. For activation, it needs the pathogen particle or the T cell. We can learn it for the next. So this is all about the activation. Activation of B cell can be done by two methods. One by actual interaction with microbe, actual interaction with pathogen or actual interaction with antigen, and second one by with the help using the T helper cell. So first take the example, if the T cell matures by the direct interaction of microbe. So upon activation, these T cell undergo clonal proliferation and clonal selection. After a clonal selection and clonal proliferation, there is a generation of B plasma cell, and these plasma cells are called as clone B plasma cells, which produces a single type of antibody, complementary or against that specific pathogen. So consider as a X pathogen has entered into the body, and inside the body there is production of different types of cells, different types of lymphocyte. So consider example of B lymphocyte. B lymphocyte are synthesized, then mature and then activated. Upon activation, these B lymphocytes gain the information, take the information for producing IgM. Initially for producing IgM. Then the cells can undergo the isotype switching. Sometimes it can happen, and after isotype switching, instead of producing IgM, these cells can produce IgG, immunoglobulin G. So this is all about the activation of B cell, activation of B lymphocyte via actual interaction with the pathogen. Second one is via T helper cells. So how will T helper cells? In previous slide, we have seen that we have discussed that how T cell will activate it. T cell activates via antigen presenting cells via MHC molecule 2. So consider first T cell is activated before encounter with the B lymphocyte. Then these T helper cell then releases some kinds of cytokine which activates the B cell via interleukin or T helper cell 2. So upon activation by T helper cell 2 or T helper cell, these lymphocytes also undergo clonal selection, clonal proliferation, and there is a production of clones of plasma cell, or we can call it as a B plasma cell. So the humoral immune response consists of production. We have seen about production, maturation, then there is activation. Activation either by direct interaction with pathogen or either by interaction with the activated T helper cell. Next one is effector phase. Effector phase of B lymphocyte or effector phase in humoral immune response consists of B plasma cell which undergone the clonal selection and clonal proliferation. So it produces multiple types of clone which synthesizes and releases antibody in our bloodstream or antibody in our which releases antibody. So this is a basic structure of antibody. Antibody consists of Fab fragment and FC region. Antigen binding fragment, we can call it as antigen binding fragment as well as a constant fragment. So antibody consists of two, in blue color it is shown as a 2 heavy chain, and in green color it is shown as a 2 light chain. On the heavy chain and light chain there is a presence of variable region. This is only the variable region. On variable region there is actual binding of antigen particle or pathogen particle. So this is called as antigen binding site. This is light chain, heavy chain, and this one is a Fab fragment and antigen binding fragment, or this is a constant fragment. So this is a basic structure of the antibody. So next one is antigen, function of antigen antibody complex. While discussing the function of or the work of antigen antibody complex or the work of antibody, the antibody performs various types of reaction, performs various types of pathways to eliminate that pathogen particle, to eliminate that antigen. First one is neutralization. In a neutralization, the antibody can neutralize the virus particle as well as it can neutralize the toxins. What is neutralization? Via neutralization, antibody blocks the active binding site of that virus particle and toxin, and it prevents from the infection inside the body, or prevents the infection, prevents the disease. So first function of antibody is a neutralization. Second one is complement recruitment by antibodies. So when antibodies are attached or interact with the pathogen particle, antigenic particle, it forms an antigen antibody complex, and these antigen antibody complex recruits the complement protein. So what are the complement protein? So in immune response, along with that, these cells, these organs, there are specific low molecular proteins which is called as complement protein, which is important in the generation of immune response as well as important in the elimination of pathogen particle. So these complement protein are attached on the antigen antibody complex, but specifically at the Fc region of your antibody. Fc region, what is Fc region? The constant fragment. What is Fc region? The constant fragment of your antibody. On this region, there is attachment of complement protein. Upon attachment of the complement protein, single complement, so suppose take an example, C1 complement protein has attached on the Fc region of the your antibody, then these C1 complement attracts or recruits multiple types of complement protein onto the antigen, which actually forms a pore onto the specific pathogen or onto the specific, it can be bacteria, virus, protozoa, there is multiple types of pathogen. So by the formation of MAC complex, membrane attack complex, by the formation of MAC complex which is done by complement protein, it forms a pore on pathogen, upcoming pathogen. So upon formation of pore, all the cytoplasmic content present into the pathogen, it leaks outside the member, and there is killing of, then the pathogen particle become dead. So in this way, either by neutralization or either by complement recruitment or complement fixation, it can eliminate the pathogen particle from the body. The complement recruitment or the complement fixation can be done by two pathways. First one is a classical pathway, which is discussed about like the first one is classical pathway in which there is formation of MAC complex, and the second one is alternate pathway which is done by phagocytosis or opsonization. So second one is opsonization. Opsonization is a similar term about the phagocytosis. This third one function of the antibody is that opsonization. The macrophage consists of a specific receptor which binds on the Fc region of your antibody. This is the Fc region, constant fragment of your antibody, which binds on the macrophage specifically at the site of FcR. What is FcR? Fc receptor. So these are the Fc receptor on which these antibodies are attached via Fc region, constant fragment, and along with antigen and antibody, this complex is engulfed by this phagocytic cell. Phagocytic cell, it can be macrophage, it can be dendritic cells, or it can be natural killer cells. So first one function is neutralization, second one is complement fixation, and the third one is opsonization. By all these methods, antibody can eliminate the pathogen particle or antibody can eliminate the antigen particle from our body. The concept of antigen is very vast. Antigen can be pathogen like viruses, bacteria, protozoa, etc. etc. Antigens can be proteins in case of some allergic reactions, or antigens can be like toxins, some in food poisoning toxin, enterotoxinous, exotoxin, like that. So all these kinds of antigen are eliminated from our body via generating humoral immune response and cell mediated immune response. So all the concept about that generation of immune response is that humoral immune response consists of B lymphocyte or B cell which produces antibodies, and via all these method, antibodies eliminates the pathogen particle, eliminates the antigenic particle from our body. Second one is that cell mediated immune response. In cell mediated immune response, there is a generation of T lymphocyte. there are majorly two types of T lymphocyte, that is a T cytotoxic cell and a T helper cell. Via cytotoxic reaction, via apoptosis, apoptosis is a programmed cell death. Via apoptosis, T cytotoxic cell eliminates the antigen from our body, and as well as the T helper cell functions only in the secretion of some types of cytokine which activates, stimulates or proliferates the other immune cells. Along with these B plasma cell, T cytotoxic cell and T helper cell, there is production of different types of memory cells. Memory cells, after elimination of these antigens, after elimination of these pathogen particles, some cells are preserved inside our body, and these cells are called as B memory cells or T memory cells. If the preserved cells are B lymphocyte or B plasma cell, then it is called as B memory cell, and if the T cells are preserved, then it is called as a T memory cell. These memory cells helps in generation of secondary immune response. The primary immune response is all about this. The activity of T cell, the activity of T helper cell, the activity of these antibodies, this is the primary immune response. Upon elimination of these all, the first infection of these antigen particle or pathogenic particle, the memory cells are stored, and upon reinfection of same pathogen particle, reinfection of same antigen, the secondary immune response is generated, and it is a fast reaction due to the immunological memory stored in the form of B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte, which is also called as B memory cell and T memory cell. So this is all about the humoral immune response and cellular immune response. Thank you.